I want to talk about two different dimensions of fear that I want you to understand before you take the lead. I want to talk about the fear of failure, because many people don't go as far as they should go because they have apprehension that they won't reach their goal. They just say, I'm going to stay down here where I'm at and not try because I might lose. I'm not going to own anything because I might lose it. I'm not going to buy a house because I might lose it. I'm not going to get married because I might get a divorce. That's madness, but that's how it is.
Failure is a part of the process to becoming successful. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player in the world, he took 946 game-winning shots. He has only made 146 of those. You know what they write about? When he make it. So when you fail, it's a part of the process. Keep going. You're supposed to fail. Shit, who you know that gets it right all the time? That's impossible.
Have you given yourself permission to succeed? Or are you so intimidated by the fear of failure that you don't try? On the other side of it is the fear of success. I want it, but I don't want all the stuff that comes with it. I don't want to deal with all the problems that come with it. I don't want to deal with the pressures that come with it. I can't handle it. I'm going to stay on this lower level. And when you do that, you are left with nothing but the hope of magic. I'm just going to stay down here where it's comfortable, but I'm believing that I'm going to get a blessing up here while I'm staying down here. You can't do it. And if you will allow anyone, any voice on the inside to talk you out of this moment, you will forfeit it and be stuck washing your nets when there's a great drought of fish waiting you, if you have the courage to believe.
So deciding as you look at your life, as you look into the future and say, what fears am I holding on to that's keeping me from breaking out, that's keeping me from living up to my true potential, that's keeping me from having a sense of adventure and excitement in my life? What fears that I'm giving that permission to? Because whatever discomfort you experience, whatever challenges or difficulty that it is, you got to handle it. Will it be challenging? Yes. What do you want me to tell you? That it's going to be a picnic? No, it's not. But that's just what you must go through in order to get where you want to go. And guess what? You are strong enough to do it. This dream you got, whatever you want to do, will it happen overnight? No. Will it be a struggle? Yes. Will there be times you won't know what to do? Yes, that's a part of it. But somebody must have told people, oh, life is going to be real easy. If they told you that, I've got a special announcement. They lied. See, when you accept yourself and you accept fear as a fact, but it is not a force to hold you back. So you accept the fact that you are afraid and then you move on anyhow.
What God has in your future will scare you. But if you'll take a step of faith, you'll see how God scared you into greatness. He scared you into taking new ground. Life is too short to settle for things that are less than what you know is in you. You weren't made to go around and around the next 40 years doing something unfulfilling. Stretch, grow, take courses, learn, do your part, and He'll bring you an opportunity that not only scares you, but excites you.
What really stops us from taking the lead and coming to the forefront a lot of times is not the lack of talent, it's not the lack of education. I've been amazed at the people I have met who were highly educated and failing, highly educated and homeless. So education alone is not the solution. I've worked in penal institutions and seen people who were very gifted and incarcerated. In fact, I've seen people with less talent than you doing more than you. And this is what causes jealousy and envy. When you look and you meet other people who have less to work with than you, and yet they're in higher positions than you, you can either become jealous or you can begin to challenge yourself to say, what is wrong with my belief systems that's stopping me from going to the next level in this area? This is not about money necessarily. This is not about prestige necessarily. This is about progress. Because it's a shame to live long and have no progress. I've been washing these toilets for 27 years. At least let me be the manager of the toilet washers. I want to move up. Maybe it's wrong. Is there anybody in here that wants to move up? I'm going to point out 6 irrational belief patterns that may be hindering you from going to the next level. One of them is undeserving. I just can't see myself as being in this position. I don't deserve it. This often comes from things that people said to you or about you. And so when you see opportunities beyond how you've been programmed, you reject it because you don't feel like you're deserving of it. Beyond undeserving is ordinary. I do not want to stand apart or be different. You'd be surprised at the people, because they have a belief system that holds on to being ordinary, they will not take the lead. The third belief system that may be hindering you is social change. I fear rejection, loneliness, or claims that I have changed or sold out. And all of a sudden, in order to fit in your sociological environment, you passed up the promotion. You wouldn't buy the house that was the best deal for you because it moved you out of the neighborhood that you were defined by, because you want the people you're sitting beside to like you and accept you. And you don't want to be a sellout. The next one I want to deal with is fleeting. My success will be temporal and I will not be able to sustain it. You have performance anxiety. You're afraid that it won't last. You don't want to go out on a date because if you go out on the date, you start a relationship, it's not going to last. It didn't last before. It didn't last with Fred. It didn't last with Jim. It's not going to last. I'm not going to go back to school because I may not complete it. It will not last. And you have a fear that the blessing is fleeting because you have already programmed yourself that nothing else exciting is ever going to happen to you again. The next one I want to talk about is perfectionism. I will have to behave as if I am perfect and I am not. Depart from me. Why? Because I know I've got imperfections. And I don't want to get in the light because somebody might see them. And so I'm going to be secretly talented. I reject the opportunity to be blessed because I know something about myself that I don't want anybody else to know. And I'm more concerned about the security of my reputation. Than I am my progress. I'm not going to get involved with him, because if I get involved with him and he gets too close to me, he will see that I'm not perfect. Where you don't give the person the chance to accept you because you've already criticized yourself, you'd be surprised at the people who talk other people out of loving them. You know exactly what to do to move up into the next position, but you don't want the light on you because you have issues. Newsflash, everybody has issues. Everybody has junk in the trunk. And if you're waiting to clean out all the junk, you may be stuck 20 years cleaning out the trunk. I'm gonna go on to this next one, besiegement. Don't give me the position, because if I become manager of the department, my friends won't invite me out anymore, and you start trying to prove to them that you are still who you were, because people will put pressure on you to stay low. And it is true, as you go up, there are a great deal of people who associate with you because of where you are and not who you are. Because when you first start going up amongst people who haven't gone up, and they start trying to pull you down because they say, you know, you're the first one in our family to get a degree. You ought to take care of this and you ought to take care of that. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And some people, for fear of having that pressure on them, forfeit the success and stay down rather than to go forward. The inability to manage these fears creates self-sabotaging, self-handicapping situations where you're incapable of moving forward, and it makes you a chronic underachiever. The maybe they'll like me better syndrome keeps you locked into a system that you can't get out of.